Have you ever stood beneath a star-smeared sky, breath caught in your throat, and wondered, will I recognize her smile there? Will his laugh still sound like home? Will the child I lost run into my arms like they once did? These questions aren't doubts. They're the raw, aching pulse of a heart that refuses to believe heaven could feel less familiar than earth. We bury bodies but not stories. We grieve endings but not love. So why do we fear that eternity, a place called home, could erase the faces we've traced in the dark? Some say heaven makes us so new, we forget the past. But the risen Jesus still bore his scars, not to haunt but to honor the story. Your memories won't vanish, they'll deepen. You'll hug your mother and finally grasp the weight of her sacrifices. You'll grip your father's hand and fully see the battles he fought silently. You'll kiss your child's cheek and feel the bond death couldn't sever. Heaven doesn't erase, it reveals. And you won't wonder, you'll know. Like recognizing autumn's first chill before leaves turn, like catching your grandmother's perfume decades after she's gone. True love needs no name tags, it resonates. So if your heart aches tonight, look up. Those stars aren't periods, they're commas. Your story with them isn't over, it's eternal. And in the final chapter, there will be no tears, only a gasp of joy. Oh, it's you. I've known you all along. Do you want to know what happens when you die? The answer isn't hidden in darkness. It is engraved into eternity. Look at the story Jesus himself told. A rich man, clothed in fine linen, feasting daily, coldly stepping past Lazarus, the beggar at his gate starving, covered in sores. They both died. Lazarus was carried by angels to Abraham's side, the rich man. He woke up in fire, his thirst unbearable, crying out for a single drop of water. Father Abraham, he pleaded, send Lazarus to dip his finger in water and cool my tongue. But the chasm was fixed, no second chances, no bargaining, no escape. His fate was sealed by his own choices. Luke 16:9-31. This is not a parable, this is a warning. This is reality. When you die, you don't vanish into nothingness, you don't drift into a gray void. Your soul awakens instantly, either in glory or in agony. Paul puts it plainly, to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. 2 Corinthians 5:8. For those who belong to Christ, death is a doorway. For those who reject him, it is a descent into the abyss. You think you have time, you don't. The rich man thought he had time. He died in the middle of a feast, in the midst of laughter, in the illusion of security. And suddenly he realized a full, terrifying awareness. No purgatory, no reincarnation, no duvers, just two destinations, two eternal realities. One shaped by surrender, the other by rebellion. Listen to Jesus' call in another story. A thief, nailed to a cross beside him, mocking at first, but then, in his final moments, he turned. Lord, remember me. Jesus didn't say try harder. He said, today, you will be with me in paradise. Luke 240 are no rituals, no works, just raw faith and eternal promise. That's grace. But the rich man, the one who lived in abundance yet was indifferent to truth, never received it. Where do you stand? At the gate like Lazarus? Or in the mansion like the rich man? The clock is ticking. The feast will end. The grave does not negotiate. Today you choose which side of the chasm you will stand on. Choose Christ, and life swallows death. Reject him, and death swallows you. Paul faced death without fear, for to me to live is Christ, and to die is gain. So Philippians 1:21. He did not tremble at the grave because he knew what lay beyond eternal communion with Jesus. But for the rich man, separation, a soul starved of grace, parched of peace, cut off forever. This is not a threat. This is a wake-up call. The Bible does not whisper about eternity, it shouts. It does not hint, it thunders. You were made for more than this fleeting life. Your soul is eternal. Your choice echoes forever. The chasm is real, but so is the cross. So is the empty tomb. Look at the final promise. It will wipe away every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death, mourning, crying, or pain. So Revelation 21:4, that is the future for those who belong to him. But for those who reject him, the lake of fire, burning with sulfur, this is the second death. Revelation 21:4, there are no hesitation, no exceptions. Where will you wake up? The story has been told, the ending is clear. You hold your choice right now. Today, not tomorrow. Not when you're ready. Lazarus didn't get time to prepare. The thief didn't either. There is only the present. There is only Christ. The chasm is set, but his arms are still open. Will you step into the eternal banquet, or remain a stranger in the darkness? The answer is yours. You will know them. You will see them. Those eyes that held you, that voice that called your name, that spirit you loved with a fierceness that outlived the grave. The Bible doesn't whisper this truth, it shouts it. Your identity isn't erased in eternity, it's etched into glory. Let's cut through the doubt, the fuzzy sentimentality, the weak-kneed theories. Heaven isn't a cosmic blur of anonymous souls. It's a reunion, a recognition, a resurrection of who you are and who they were. Think of Moses and Elijah on the Mount of Transfiguration, as Matthew 17:130. Peter, James, and John didn't stare at two glowing strangers. They knew them. Moses, the deliverer, the lawgiver, the man who spoke with God face-to-face. Elijah, the fire-breathing prophet who defied kings and rode to heaven in a chariot of flame. Centuries dead, yet alive, visible, unmistakable. No name tags, no introductions. Glorified, but not ghostly. Transfigured, but not transformed into someone else. Or take the rich man and Lazarus, Luke 16:9-31. In death, the rich man saw Lazarus in Abraham's arms. He didn't guess, he knew. He even begged Abraham to send Lazarus, that Lazarus, the beggar he'd ignored at his gate, to warn his brothers. Hell didn't strip his memory. Heaven didn't anonymize Lazarus. Their identities weren't dissolved, they were amplified. The rich man remained the self-absorbed fool who'd traded eternity for luxury. Lazarus remained the faithful one, now comforted. Death didn't rewrite their stories, it revealed them in Christ himself, resurrected, glorified, yet known. Mary recognized his voice in the gardens, John 20 El Simsif. Cars, John 20:27. He ate fish, Thousu 24:44, Horner 43. He walked, talked, laughed. This wasn't a hologram. This was Jesus, the same man they'd followed, betrayed, and wept for. His resurrection body was no mere replica, it was him, wounds and all, but now blazing with unkillable life. If even the God-man retained his identity, why would we, his image-bearers, lose ours? Here's the raw truth: God doesn't recycle souls, he redeems them. Your quirks, your passions, your laughter, they're not accidents. They're fingerprints of the Creator. When Paul says, we shall all be changed, 1 Corinthians 15:5-1, he doesn't mean erased. He means upgraded, stripped of sin, yes, but your essence, the you that loves, creates, worships, that remains. Think of a seed becoming a tree. The seed isn't annihilated, it's unleashed. Imagine this: you step into eternity, light swallows you, and there across a sea of saints you see a face, a smile you'd know in a million. Your mother's laugh rings out, that laugh, the one that warmed your childhood winters. Your friend clasps your shoulder, the same grip that steadied you when your world cracked. No hesitation, no second guessing, you know. Because love doesn't forget, God doesn't waste. We cling to this hope because eternity is relational. What's heaven without the well done from the Father? What's worship without the chorus of 1,000 generations? Moses' thunderous joy, David's wild dance, your grandmother's off-key hymns. We're not melding into some divine soup. We're a family, a kingdom, a body, each part distinct, irreplaceable, known. So let the doubters squawk. Let the skeptics reduce heaven to a vague, feel-good mist. You stake your hope on something harder, brighter, truer. You'll know them, they'll know you. And in that moment, every goodbye, every grave, every ache of separation will snap like a thread. Because love survives, identity endures. And God, who stitched your soul together in secret, isn't about to unravel his masterpiece now. You stand at the edge of a cliff, and the ground beneath you is crumbling. The wind howls, the waves crash, and the choice before you is stark: step back or fall. This isn't just a metaphor, it's the reality of eternity. The Bible doesn't sugarcoat it. It doesn't tiptoe around the hard truths. It tells you plainly there is a heaven, and there is a hell. There is life, and there is death. There is salvation, and there is judgment. And the choice, your choice, determines where you'll spend forever. Let's talk about hell, not to scare you, not to manipulate you, but because it's real, because it's what awaits those who reject God, and because you need to know. Hell isn't a myth. It's not a fairy tale to keep kids in line. It's a place of separation, of darkness, of unending regret. Jesus described it as a place where the worm does not die, and the fire is not quenched. Mark 9:4-8, he spoke of utter darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Matthew 80:20. These aren't metaphors, they're warnings. But here's the thing: hell isn't just about fire. It's about absence, the absence of God, the absence of love, the absence of hope. Imagine a life without light, without warmth, without connection. Imagine a soul shriveling in the void, forever cut off from the source of all goodness. That's hell. and it's what we all deserve. Yes, we, you, me, all of us, 'cause we've all sinned. We've all turned away. We've all chosen our own way over God's, and the wages of sin is death. Romans 6:23, not just physical death. Eternal death, separation from God forever. That's the justice of it. God is holy, perfect, righteous. He cannot, will not, overlook sin. To do so would be to deny his very nature. So hell isn't just a punishment, it's a consequence. It's what happens when we reject the one who made us, who loves us, who offers us life. But here's where the story turns. Here's where the light breaks through. Because God doesn't want you to go to hell. He doesn't want anyone to go. He is not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. At 2 Peter 3:9. That's why he sent Jesus. That's why he made a way. Think about the thief on the cross, Luke 20:33-43. He was a criminal, a sinner. He deserved death, and yet in his final moments, he turned to Jesus. He said, "Remember me." And Jesus, the same Jesus who spoke of hell, said, "Today you will be with me in paradise." No purgatory, no probation, just grace, raw, unearned, scandalous grace. That's the mercy of God. That's the heart of the gospel. It's not about what you've done. It's about what Jesus has done. He took your sin. He bore your punishment. He died your death. And he rose again to offer you life. Not just any life. Eternal life, life with him. Life in his presence. Life filled with joy. With peace, with love. But here's the catch: you have to choose. You have to respond. You have to take the hand that's reaching out to you. Because God won't force you. He won't drag you into heaven kicking and screaming. He respects your freedom. He honors your choice. But he also warns you the clock is ticking. The ground is crumbling. And the choice you make now echoes into eternity. So what will you do? Will you turn away? Will you cling to your sin, your pride, your self-sufficiency? Or will you fall to your knees? Will you cry out for mercy? Will you take the gift that's being offered to you? I know it's hard. I know it's scary. I know it feels like stepping off a cliff. But here's the truth: the cliff is crumbling anyway. The ground beneath you is giving way, and the only safe place is in the arms of Jesus. So don't wait. Don't put it off. Don't tell yourself you'll deal with it later. Later might be too late. The Bible says, now is the day of salvation, 2 Corinthians 6:2. Not tomorrow, not next week now. And if you're already walking with Jesus, don't stay silent. Don't keep this hope to yourself. The world is full of people standing on crumbling ground. They need to hear the truth. They need to see the light. They need to know there's a way out. So let's be bold. Let's be compassionate. Let's be urgent. Because eternity is at stake, and every soul matters. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to point people to Jesus, to his justice, to his mercy, to his love. And if you're the one on the edge, if you're the one feeling the ground give way, hear this: Jesus is calling. He's reaching out. He's offering you life. Don't turn away. Don't wait. Take his hand. Step into the light, because the ground is crumbling and the choice is yours. You are here. Finally here. Not the here of fleeting moments, of fragile joys that crumble like sand in your fists. This is the here that lasts. The here that holds you, anchors you, fills you so completely that you forget what emptiness ever felt like. You step into the light, and it's not just light, it's him. Warmth wraps around you, not like a blanket, but like a presence. A voice whispers, "Welcome home," and you realize it's been whispering your name all along. You look around. Faces. So many faces, not strangers. Not fragments of a broken world. Family. The ones you lost. The ones you loved. The ones you never got to meet. They're here, not as memories, not as shadows, but as themselves, whole, radiant, alive in a way that makes your heart ache with joy. You run to them. No hesitation. No fear. The distance that once tore you apart is gone. The years that stole them from you, erased, you embrace. And it's not just a hug, it's a reunion, a reclamation. A declaration: no more goodbyes, no more tears, no more time. We are one, not in theory, not in hope, but in truth. The divisions that once defined us, race, language, tribe, creed, melt away like mist under the sun. You see it now: the beauty in every tongue, the sacredness in every story. The man you once called enemy stands beside you, and you don't flinch. You don't remember why you ever did. His hand finds yours, and you realize his scars match yours. His story mirrors yours, his joy is yours. Together you lift your voices, and the sound is unlike anything you've ever heard. It's not a song, it's a symphony. A roar of gratitude, of awe, of love so fierce it shakes the heavens. No more pain, no more sickness, no more broken bodies or broken hearts. You touch your chest, half expecting to feel the familiar ache, the weight of grief you carried for so long. But it's gone. Your lungs fill with air that tastes like freedom. Your eyes see colors you didn't know existed. Your ears hear melodies that make your soul dance. You are healed, not patched up, not bandaged, but restored. Every wound, every scar, every tear redeemed. Made beautiful, made whole, you kneel, but not in fear, not in shame, in awe. The ground beneath you hums with life, and you realize it's not ground at all. It's glory, solid, tangible, alive. You look up, and there he is, not distant, not silent, but here with you, for you. His eyes meet yours, and you see it, the love that chased you, the grace that saved you, the promise that kept you. You whisper, "Thank you," but the words feel small, inadequate. He smiles, and you understand he knows, he's always known. We feast, not on food, but on joy, on laughter, on the kind of happiness that doesn't fade. The table stretches beyond sight, filled with faces you recognize and faces you don't. But it doesn't matter. Here, every stranger is family. Every story is yours. You raise your cup, and it's not wine that fills it, it's life, eternal, unending, overflowing. You drink, and it's not just your thirst that's satisfied, it's your soul. You dance, not the careful, self-conscious steps of earth, but wild, unashamed, unfiltered joy. The music isn't just around you. It's in you. It is you. You spin, and the air sparkles with light. You laugh, and the sound echoes into forever. You are free, not just from chains, but from fear, from doubt, from the weight of a world that tried to break you. This is it. The moment you were made for. The love you were created to know. The home you were always meant to find. You are here, not just in heaven, but in him, in us, in the family that will never be torn apart again. No more night, no more tears, no more death. Just light, just love, just him, and in him, we together forever. You are not made for this world. Let that sink in. This earth, with all its noise and chaos, is not your home. It's a journey, a preparation, a stepping stone to something greater. Don't let the temporary blind you to the eternal. Don't let the noise drown out the call. You were made for more, so much more. Look up, not just with your eyes, but with your heart. Fix your gaze on what lasts, on what matters, on the promise that burns brighter than any trial, any pain, any disappointment. Heaven is not a distant dream, it's your destiny. And every moment here is a chance to live like it, to love like it, love fiercely. Not just when it's easy, not just when it's returned, but when it costs you, when it hurts, when it feels impossible. Love the unlovable, forgive the unforgivable, show grace to the undeserving. Why? Because that's what's been shown to you. That's the heartbeat of heaven. That's the mark of a life lived with eternity in view. Forgive, not because they deserve it, but because you've been forgiven. Unclench your fists. Let go of the grudges, the bitterness, the pain that's been weighing you down. Forgiveness isn't weakness, it's freedom. It's a declaration that you won't let the past define you, that you're choosing a future shaped by grace, not by hurt. Share the gospel, not as a duty, not as a chore, but as a lifeline. Someone out there is drowning in the noise, in the chaos, in the lies this world feeds them. They need hope. They need truth. They need him. And you. You have the answer. Don't keep it to yourself. Speak it, live it. Shout it from the rooftops if you have to. This world is desperate for good news. Be the one who delivers it. Don't let the temporary distract you. The money, the status, the approval. It's all fading. It's all fleeting. Don't waste your life chasing what won't last. Invest in what will, in people, in relationships, in the kingdom. Store up treasures where moth and rust cannot destroy, where thieves cannot break in and steal. Live with your hands open, not clenched. Give generously, serve selflessly, love recklessly. Remember, this life is short. Too short to waste on petty arguments, on grudges, on fear. Too short to live for yourself. You were made for more. You were made for him. So live like it. Love like it. Shine like it. Let your life be a reflection of the hope that's within you. Let it point others to the eternity that awaits. We are not alone in this. We are a family, a body, a community of believers all running the same race, all chasing the same hope. Encourage one another. Lift each other up. Remind each other of the promise that's coming. When the world feels heavy, when the road feels long, when the darkness feels overwhelming, hold on. Hold on to each other. Hold on to him. This is not the end. The struggles, the pain, the heart ache, they're temporary, they're fleeting. But what's coming? It's eternal. It's glorious. It's worth every tear, every sacrifice, every moment of waiting. So don't lose heart. Don't give up. Keep running. Keep fighting. Keep loving. Keep shining. You are made for eternity. Live like it. You are not made for this world. Let that sink in. This earth with all its noise and chaos is not your home. It's a journey, a preparation, a stepping stone to something greater. Don't let the temporary blind you to the eternal. Don't let the noise drown out the call. You were made for more. So much more. Look up, not just with your eyes but with your heart. Fix your gaze on what lasts, on what matters, on the promise that burns brighter than any trial, any pain, any disappointment. Heaven is not a distant dream. It's your destiny, and every moment here is a chance to live like it, to love like it, to shine like it. Love fiercely, not just when it's easy, not just when it's returned, but when it costs you, when it hurts, when it feels impossible. Love the unlovable. Forgive the unforgivable. Show grace to the undeserving. Why? Because that's what's been shown to you. That's the heartbeat of heaven. That's the mark of a life lived with eternity in view. Forgive, not because they deserve it, but because you've been forgiven. Unclench your fists. Let go of the grudges, the bitterness, the pain that's been weighing you down. Forgiveness isn't weakness. It's freedom. It's a declaration that you won't let the past define you. That you're choosing a future shaped by grace, not by hurt. Share the gospel, not as a duty, not as a chore, but as a lifeline. Someone out there is drowning in the noise, in the chaos, in the lies this world feeds them. They need hope. They need truth. They need Him. And you have the answer. Don't keep it to yourself. Speak it, live it, shout it from the rooftops if you have to. This world is desperate for good news. Be the one who delivers it. Don't let the temporary distract you. The money, the status, the approval, it's all fading. It's all fleeting. Don't waste your life chasing what won't last. Invest in what will, in people, in relationships, in the kingdom. Store up treasures where moth and rust cannot destroy, where thieves cannot break in and steal. Live with your hands open, not clenched. Give generously. Serve selflessly. Love recklessly. Remember, this life is short, too short to waste on petty arguments, on grudges, on fear. Too short to live for yourself. You were made for more. You were made for Him. So live like it. Love like it. Shine like it. Let your life be a reflection of the hope that's within you. Let it point others to the eternity that awaits. We are not alone in this. We are a family, a body, a community of believers all running the same race, all chasing the same hope. Encourage one another. Lift each other up. Remind each other of the promise that's coming. When the world feels heavy, when the road feels long, when the darkness feels overwhelming, hold on. Hold on to each other. Hold on to Him. This is not the end. The struggles, the pain, the heartache, they're temporary. They're fleeting. But what's coming? It's eternal. It's glorious. It's worth every tear, every sacrifice, every moment of waiting. So don't lose heart. Don't give up. Keep running. Keep fighting. Keep loving. Keep shining. You are made for eternity. Live like it. Heaven is real, not a metaphor, not a fairy tale, not a distant dream. It's as real as the ground beneath your feet, as real as the air in your lungs, as real as the blood in your veins, and so is hell. The stakes are eternal. The choice is yours. What will you do with it? This is not a drill. This is not a game. This is your life, your eternity, your soul. You don't get a second chance. You don't get a do-over. When the curtain falls, when the clock stops, when the breath leaves your body, your decision is final. Heaven or hell, life or death, light or darkness, what will you choose? Don't wait, don't stall. Don't tell yourself, later. Later is a lie. Later is a gamble you can't afford. Tomorrow isn't promised. Today is all you have. So act, run to the cross, fall on your knees, cry out for mercy, beg for grace. And when He answers, when He wraps you in arms scarred by love, don't let go. Cling to Him like your life depends on it, because it does. Examine your heart, not tomorrow, not next week, now. Are you playing at faith? Are you clinging to religion instead of relationship? Are you trusting in your goodness, your works, your morality? Let me tell you the truth, it's not enough. It will never be enough. Your best deeds are filthy rags. Your righteousness is a shadow. Only His blood can save you. Only His grace can cleanse you. Only His love can transform you. This is your wake-up call, your alarm bell, your moment of truth. The world is screaming. Sleep, but heaven is roaring. Rise, so wake up, shake off the lies, shake off the distractions, shake off the fear. Stand in the light. Stand in the truth. Stand in the grace that's reaching for you. The cross is your crossroads, the moment of decision, the line in the sand. On one side life, on the other death. There's no middle ground, no neutral zone. No, good enough. You're either his or you're not. You're either saved or you're lost. You're either walking toward heaven or running toward hell. Where are you headed? Don't gamble with your soul. Don't play games with eternity. Don't let pride, fear, or doubt steal your destiny. The cost is too high, the risk is too great, the stakes are eternal. So choose today. Choose him. We are running out of time. The clock is ticking. The world is groaning. The king is coming. And when he does, it will be too late. Too late to repent, too late to believe, too late to change your mind. Don't wait until the door is shut. Don't wait until the lights go out. Don't wait until the final breath. Now is the time. Now is the moment. Now is your chance. Heaven is calling. Can you hear it? The roar of the redeemed. The song of the saved. The laughter of the liberated. It's real. It's waiting. It's yours if you want it. But the choice is yours. The decision is yours. The step is yours. So take it. Run to him. Fall into grace. And never look back.